Shoot, Lordly, I didn't even notice. Is that better? Is that working? I can't believe that. I think I totally forgot to take the mutes off. So there was 26 minutes of complete silence. That's embarrassing. Let's see, do I have all the mutes off now? I think I do. Things should be going good now. I hope. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be poking all these critters with the pointy end of the stick. Oh, I get Life Surge. What does that do? Ensures critical damage for first weapon skill used while Life Surge is active. Okay, so I probably want that up here. Alright, hopefully there's volume now. Really hope there is. Okay, let's kill that. Dead. Okay. Whoa. That was not nice. Let's give Life Surge a try. See how much more damage I do. Oh, fair bit. It's actually pretty, a pretty nice ability. I'm gonna have to remember to use that a lot more. Oh wait, no, it has a long cooldown, so I guess I'll be using that on boss fights or something. There we go. Pointy end has been used again. So let's turn this in, and then we can turn our other quest in, get our level 5 job quest. And we can get going on that. I'm still kind of wondering if I got... The desktop doesn't seem to be picking up anything. I don't think. Oh wait, maybe it is. Maybe it's just really quiet though. I don't know. It's hard for me to test it myself because when I try on my computer, all I get is a lot of echo now. So at least that's a good sign because I guess that means that the sound is now coming through. Oh, can't believe I forgot to take off my mute. Mistakes were made. That's another thing I've got to check every day. Marostel, have you come to train? No, I've come to give you the rock-shaped carapace of a bog yarson. Come to give you animal pieces. Not a new recruit? Then what? Ah, the yarson shells I ordered Marlin to requisition. I see he's learned to delegate authority, if nothing else. Now that I have these carapaces, I can set my recruits some specialized drills. They are already adept at hitting a target, of course, but they need practical knowledge of exactly where a monster like the Yarson is most vulnerable. Thanks to your efforts, I've no doubt that they will fare... Oh man. I've no doubt they will fare rather better against the creatures when called upon. You should be proud of yourself. Both they and the Bannock are safer for your help. Well, that's good. Oh wait, I want food. I want some extra experience. Oh, I'm almost out of... what do you call it? Inventory space. There's a merchant right here, so we'll sell some stuff off. Kinda don't want to sell much though, that's the problem. First world problems. Well, that gave me 1,800 in cash, so we want that. I'm gonna keep the food, obviously. I'm gonna keep the dodo feathers. I can sell that because I can just make more of that. We're gonna keep the high quality versions of it. You want to keep the fangs and feathers and stuff because I don't think you can start... I don't think you can buy those. You can buy the shriek mushroom, so I don't need that. And then animal sinew you can buy. It's not that expensive. And I think you can buy coral butterflies. I'm not sure. So we're just going to hold on to that just to be safe. We're going to try and organize our stuff a little better tomorrow when we do our crafting day. Because then we can see a lot quicker and clearer what we need, what we don't need, and sort it that way. Alright. Kamazam, what do you wish of us? Sub Kamazan, a soldier at the Bannock, wants you to track down some initiates that fail to appear for training. Ah, perfect timing. I was just looking for a likely lad to track down some twin adder initiates. 3 of our newest recruits have failed to report for training, exhausted from a month of solid drills, I expect. Considering their current physical state, I rather doubt they wandered far. Oh gods, please don't mention wild beasts or blood. They're fine, I'm certain of it. Seek out my wayward troops and tell them to report to me on the double. Yes, we shall do that. You are going to be reporting on the double. Well, once we find where they're hiding. Sometimes quests of hide and go seek can take a while. Are you one of the people? Ahem. If you don't mind, I'm trying to meditate. Okay, I guess that's not one of the recruits. Wonder where they're hiding. Oh, there's one. Meditating initiate. Can you not see I am attempting to become one with nature? Leave me be, good sir. What? Sergeant Kamazan sent you? Matron's teats, I better get back before she makes her boot one with my backside. Yes, I would give you the boot too, shirking your duties. Where's the next one hiding? Well, I probably shouldn't be walking in the middle of a archer's field. That's probably not the smartest of moves. A great way to eat an arrow, though. Oh, there's one hiding behind the boxes. I see you. Audio is good for voice now? Ah, perfect. But game sound is a little low. Let's see if we can boost it just a little. Is that any better? Huh? Sergeant Kamazan? Oh, aft droppings? I must be late for training. Yeah, you are late for training. I think I'm going to turn music back on. Play sounds, play music. See if this is too loud or not loud enough. Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. I totally missed the mute button, so yeah, my stream was completely muted. I hate when that happens. I've already done it twice, so I gotta get into the habit of making sure I'm not muted. Although this time, thanks to you, it wasn't like an hour-long stream of being muted. Okay, now where's that last bugger hiding? I will find him. Okay, you hiding by the ladybugs? Betcha you are. That's where I would go hide. If you're hiding by the fungars, well, maybe you think they're just giant walking magic mushrooms. Where is this guy? I'm gonna spend the whole stream walking around in a circle looking for this critter. He is the master of hide and go seek. Alright, let's think. If I was a cowardly recruit, where would I hide? Probably this way. Only because this way is the one spot I don't think I've looked. There we go. The Daydreaming Initiate. Such a soothing sound. One day I shall build a home by the river. Who are... You say the sergeant's looking for me? How long have I been here? What bell is it now? Stand aside, I must make haste. Yes, you should make haste. Okay, that's fine. Now we can, tell the sergeant that we have found all of her people. Thank you, Razor. All the initiates are now present and accounted for. It's always the same, you know. A handful of recruits invariably lose focus a short while after being assigned to their new unit. The first rush of tension and excitement wears off, and the strain from constant drills begins to show. Reprimanding them isn't always the best solution, though. I've their morale to think about, after all. Still, I might give them a quick blast for good measure. What can I say? This is one battle I'm not afraid to fight. Okay, you go yell at your people. That sounds like a good thing to do. That'll motivate them. Now we're gonna go talk to the not material girl. And then we'll go if you break faith. Actually, no, we won't do if you break faith because we're not level 12 yet, so it doesn't make sense. Because we might be able to pick it up, but we won't be able to hand it in or finish it. I always hate that in this game so far. If you can't turn it in, you shouldn't be able to pick it up. But I guess it's because I have jobs that are above level 12. But still. Kukuvachi. Interesting name. Kukuvachi. An Alden merchant by the name of Kukuvachi seeks an adventurer to make some inquiries on his behalf. You there, adventurer. Yes, you will suffice. I have a job I need performed, and I'm willing to pay the going rate. A trifling task, really. I simply need you to ask the locals here at Bent Branch Meadows what the head wrangler covets most in all the world. This is a private matter, lest you doubt, so be sure to inquire discreetly. And please, for the love of Nald, do not reveal that you are in my employ. In fact, it would be best if my name wasn't mentioned at all. Okay. That sounds a little sketchy. Aethel, what does Keitha covet most? Why would you wish to know some... Wait a minute. That old merchant put you up to this, didn't he? He's wasting his time with that approach. If the man is serious about owning a chocobo, he would be better served by convincing Keitha of his intent to provide the bird with the proper care and attention. Okay, well, that makes sense. If you're going to have a pet or a horse or something, you want to be able to take good care of it. You take good care of them, they take good care of you, or so they say. Go around the corner here. What does Leodar have to say? Keitha? The only thing Keitha wants is for her birds to be happy. If she cares for anything besides the well-being of the chocobos, then I've not heard of it. And one more person to talk to. There it is. Bernard, what can you tell us? What's this about Miss Keitha? You looking to stir up trouble, son? If you think some shiny trinket will move her heart, then you don't know her like that is, Miss Keitha's only interested in her birds. Listen here, adventurer. If your actions cause her any distress, the wood whalers will come down on you so hard your boots will leak blood. Got that? Oh, that sounded not so good. I have to be level 10 to turn that in. Okay. Well, let's look at our hunting log. See what are we missing. North Shroud. We need North Shroud, Central, and East. Oh, we haven't turned in our, or went to this aetheryte. We should do that. Did we just talk to the Chocobo Keep here? Yeah, we already have talked to the Chocobo Keep. I don't remember being here. Oh, right! We were here when I was playing as the botanist. That's right. I forgot about that already, so we probably already have this. Yeah, we do. Okay, perfect. This is a level 12, so I don't need to worry about that yet. That's 11, don't need to worry about that. Okay, let's... North Shroud? I think that's what I saw. You'll take any chance to thwart its efforts of sabotage? Yeah, I think every day I'm going to give myself a little more than half an hour of setup just so I can make sure everything is proper. Or, you know, the last few days it's been like 5 to 10 minutes of setup. I should give myself a little more so I don't feel like I'm under the gun, so to speak. So that I can just relax, take a deep breath, make sure all the settings are right, and then go live. I think that would work out best. Today I started a wee bit early, about, I'd say, 15 minutes or so, because I know later this afternoon I'm going to have a few interruptions, because at about 4:30 I have people coming in to clean my place, because washing floors and that is just something I can't do, so I have someone come in and do it for me. They do a good job, so it's worth it. Okay. I came here for a reason. Oh, that's right. I think we went to Central last time, so we're gonna teleport somewhere else this time. Yeah, we went to Blue Badger, so let's go to the Yellow gate this time. Yellow serpent gate, that's it. And we'll look for other creatures, different ones that we need. And there's a whole ton of quests here too. First we gotta find us some mites. They're probably around here. I'm gonna keep that map open. Anyone who knows me knows I get lost way too easily, so I shouldn't trust that I'm gonna go the right direction. Instances are thankfully kinda linear, so I don't really have to worry so much. And generally people have done them so many times that I can just follow them. The only time I have a map open in an instance is if it's somewhere that I've never been to and I'm a tank. Because for some strange reason, people get a little nervous when their tank doesn't know where the heck they're going. Alright, these guys just like jumping out at you. You're bad and you should feel bad. No, you're not gonna coming storm on me. Speaking of storms, we got a snowstorm coming into this area now. We're supposed to get a... Hey, hello there. Sukai. Good to see you again. I had to think for a second. I always have to think because I want to say Silver Star, but I'm like, no, that's not right. At least not in the game. But yeah, welcome to the stream. I will be killing things with the pointy stick for today. We're going to get the Lancer to 20. At least that's the goal. So there's going to be a lot of poking and prodding. We will do all the poking and prodding, actually. Now what do we need for our book? North Shroud Peace Gardens. Where's that? Oh, just a little north from here. So we'll continue on our way. Ochus, eh? I hate Ochus. They're so nasty. We can do this. We can do these two side quests. Oh, these are just micro chews. In most Final Fantasy games, these creatures are so nasty. The amount of negative status effects they can put on you, it can get kind of crazy at times. I think it was Final Fantasy VIII that if you fought the one Ochu, it would put like literally every status effect on you, like all of them. Granted, there were ways to prevent that, like you could put certain relics and that on you so that you couldn't be given any status alignments, but for the most part it sucked to fight those things. Like, it really sucked. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Yeah, do not tell me this is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. I don't know, maybe I'm all by myself here, but I kind of wish that these things had a list at least a few different flavor texts, so it wasn't always the same thing every time. Edbert, what do you want? Hematophic harassment. Egbert is testing adventurers by asking them to slay midge swarms. Okay. Ain't seen your face around here before. It's my sworn duty to keep the peace in Hurstmill and protect her from them as you would do her people harm. If you mean to stay it for a spell, you'll have to prove ye can be trusted. Ours ain't a large community, and we've hardly any fighting folk, so there's always a need for battle-savvy types, what with all the beasties lurking hereabouts. As it happens, we've been suffering from an outbreak of midges of late. The buggers are driving our patrols to distraction. Now, if ye were to exterminate, say, half a dozen swarms, we'd know ye for a friend. Alright, well, let's go make some friends by killing beasties. And that's going to get us to level 8. Man, I don't know, it just feels like this Lancer is going up really fast. Maybe it's because it seems like the Lancer is doing a lot more damage than my other classes at the moment. So I can just kill faster and just keep moving. Although I don't know, because the Thaumaturge does a ridiculous amount of damage already. So it'd be kind of interesting. I kind of want to get a DPS meter for the game, but I don't know how to do that, where to get it, or how to set it up, so I actually have no way of knowing which of my characters, or character jobs, that's it, does the most damage. But just based on health bars, I would say it would probably be a tie at the moment between the Lancer and the Thaumaturge. And even if I knew how to put a DPS meter on, I think I would be nervous about that, because then people would really be able to see just how bad I am. Nah, it would actually be a good thing, because it would be a good way for me to figure out where my weaknesses are, and I can spend time working on that. That's the way you progress. You've done us a kindness and proven yourself capable besides. Take this with Hurstmill's thanks. Yeah, we're going to call it Hurstmill. Oh, afore you go, I've thought of something else you could do for us. Yeah, of course you did. What do you want us to do? Edbert needs someone to investigate the area surrounding the hedge tree. Okay? Would you mind going to hedge tree and seeing that all's well? Since ancient times, the tree has guarded these woods with her holy presence. Lately, though, we've been hearing reports of Ixo pecking around in her vicinity. No more than scouts, I'd wager, but if they were to lay their filthy hands on the hedge tree, well, I don't bear thinking about, so I'd be much obliged if ye'd head southwest or southeast to the hedge tree and see that no harm has come to her. Oh, and if ye chance to encounter any Ixo, send 'em packing. Be warned, though, the birdmen ain't like to take their leave without a fight. Make sure you go well prepared, and keep your eyes peeled, alright? Yeah, we are well prepared right now, so let's go. Now, the hedge tree is down this way. I can see it on my map. Ooh, there's a big bear. What level are you? Oh, you're 50. You must be a hunting target or something. I don't know. I think that's what they're called. I did a few of them on my main, but not very many. I basically unlocked it, was like, that's cool, and then never went back. Okay, where are the things? Well, there's one. There's an XL Scout. I kill you. Wait, you're level 8. That's okay. But that might interfere with me turning the quest in. Wait, that's all you wanted? Yeah, it's gonna interfere, because I'm only level 7, so I doubt I can turn it in. We'll try. If we can't right now, we'll just come... Actually, we can do the level 5 quest in the corner of that town in Hurst Mill, and that might actually get us to level 8 anyway. But it looks like we're okay to turn it in, so let's do that. Slew an Ixal, did ye? Ha! Bloody birds will think twice afore coming near our hamlet. The Ixal once dwelt in the Twelveswood, you know, but long ago they woke the great wreath and were driven out. Needless to say, they weren't best pleased with us Gridanians, or when us Gridanians took their place here. In fact, it's none other than this resentment that kindled their hatred for us. But I suspect I'm boring ye. By defending the hedge tree, you've once more proven yourself a friend to Hurstmill. If ye can spare a moment, I ask that ye speak with others in the hamlet. Many of us here could use a hand, and I can think of none better to assist them. No, that's okay. I'm going to take your money. Thank you for that. I'm now level 8. Thank you for that. And... what does Linny Eve wish of us? Linny, a quartermaster at Hurstmill, needs an adventurer to bring her a glimmer shroom, a variety of brightly glowing fungus. You have the look of an adventurer. Adventurers love little tasks, do they not? Well, I need you to head into the forest and pick a glimmer shroom for me. You haven't the faintest idea what a glimmer shroom is, do you? Glimshroom is the common name for a variety of fungus with a unique phosphorescence, that's it. What did you say? A glowing mushroom? Yes, I suppose you could put it that way. There's a colony on the rock face in the southwest of Peace Garden. But do not simply pick the first one you come across. The brightest glowing mushroom you can find, if you please. Well, yes, I would love to be able to harvest glimshrooms for myself, but there is the small matter of Ixal scouts. Not terribly friendly, those chaps. Off you go, then. Oh, so you're more than happy sending us to our deaths, potentially. That's okay. No, she's got the right idea. Send armed adventurers to go after things where you have to fight, you know, armed baddies. That's not cowardly, that's intelligence. You can't do it yourself, find someone who can. I see the glimmer. I see the glimmers. Give to me your glimmering shrooms. Glimshrooms. Let's pick it. We pick the brightest. Nothing attacked us, so maybe she was just being overly cautious. Can't blame her, really. Alright. Wood Whaler Sentry. Lots of them in here. Which, even though I don't mind the work, kind of brings up a point. There's so many wood whalers in this one little hamlet. Why doesn't she just get one of them to do it? Were you able to find the glimshrooms? A variety of fungus found in Peace Garden that naturally emits a soft white glow. Ah, would you look at that glow? Perfect. This will help me mix a potent remedy for the creeping death. Wait, what? To forestall the obvious question, the creeping death is a deadly plague that once ravaged the Hyuran population of Gridania. Though it can now be cured through simple conjuring, it doesn't hurt to have a ready supply of the medicine. After all, out here in Hurstmill, we cannot always rely on a conjurer to be on hand. Whenever a youngling coughs, thank the matron for a wandering adventurer, though. Yeah, I really butchered that sentence, but I will probably never be hired as a voice actor, but that's okay. Let's repair our gear, just for fun. What? We haven't taken any damage to any of our gear. Well, okay, I'm not going to complain, because, quite frankly, I'm greedy and I like my gil. Okay, I'm not really greedy. That's the funny thing. In games, like video games, I am the most generous person you'll find. If I've got the gil and someone needs it, I'll help them out as best as I can. But in real life, I'm practically a Scrooge. I think it's because in-game it's mostly easy to make gills, so it's like, whatever, who cares? But it's not quite so easy to make a good amount of money in real life, so any dollar I get in real life, I have to have a very good reason for me to part with it. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy. He's a creep. Well, they have a kind of a demonic growl. That was a growl you would hear in, like, Doom. Yeah, that sounds like a growl you hear from a lot of the demons in Doom. Love that game, by the way. Maybe if I start feeling like I need a bit of a break, I'll stream, like, Doom Eternal. But I gotta wait for my new graphics card to come in before I do that, because my current system, I don't think I could handle streaming Doom with it. But I bought a brand new computer with a lot of really good parts, but the GPU is going to take a while to get, if we can even find one. I hate the shortage, it's kind of stupid. But it is what it is, as they say. Just gotta hope that the video card I ordered becomes available at some point. I found a store that actually does take pre-orders for them. So I should be getting my 3070 at some point in the next few weeks. Palamont, a guard at Etat's Spire, seeks a diligent adventurer to scrub clean a pair of begrimed road signs. You've come to lend a hand, have you? Well then, you've welcome to a task from my seemingly never-ending list. I'll need you to head west along the road and scrub down 2 of the malmstones. I swear by Nafaka, those signs accumulate dirt and grime with almost unnatural haste. Speak with Dajwana at Tree Speak Stables once you've seen to them. She'll be glad to hear the malmstones are clean, for the next 3 bells at least. Wow, that's pretty fast if they get dirty within like 3 hours. Dusty malmstone. Let's give this a good spit shine. Done. But I won't be streaming any other game other than Final Fantasy 14 until I'm like at level 80 with all my classes, and if we're on the last day of like before a currency reset day, then I might just do a day of streaming other games. Okay, Joanna. What's that? You've been cleaning malmstones? Why, thank you. With all the chores that need doing around here, I was afraid they would be left to get even filthier. It's not just that they're an eyesore, by the way. In that state, the creatures around here want to lay their eggs on them. As to why, well, I can only assume their preferred nesting trees are in short supply these days. Be that as it may, we can't have monsters hatching from roadside signs. These paths are dangerous enough as it is. Perhaps a sprinkling of sting brew would keep the beasts away. She has another task for us. She needs someone to slay Oppo-Oppos and recover property stolen from Hurst Mill. Did you hear about the Demeta of Hurst Mill? Apparently Oppo-Oppos crept into her stores and made off with her Muntoy beans. Ordinarily, Oppo-Oppos wouldn't go near them, what with their foul odor and even fouler taste, but food has become scarce of late. Truth be told, a good many of us are glad to be rid of that stench. Still, I can't stand to see Demeta so dispirited. Would you track down those thieving Oppo-Oppos and recover the Muntoy beans? I'm told 6 bags were taken, all told. Demeta is well respected by all the women of Hurst Mill, so it would do you well to earn her favor. So be polite, smile, and don't interrupt if she goes off on one of her tangents. Hurst Mill lies just to the north of here. You're like to run into Oppo-Oppos on the way. Good luck. You may even encounter the bean thieves themselves. Alright, well, let's get the beans, and then we'll go back there and finish those 2. That'll probably get us to level 9, which is nice. We got 3 of our bean bags back. There's our 4th bean bag. Here is number 5, and 1 more kill. Okay, Oppo-Oppo. Give to us your beans. We need all of the beans. 1 more hit. Done. We have all of Demeta's beans now. We kind of have to go to Central Shroud to finish our book. We might do that, and then just do our level 5 and level 10 Lancer quests back to back. And once we hit 10, we can do guild heists too, which will be nice. Because that'll help speed us up to 15, the magic number, where we can actually do instancing. I suppose there's nothing to be done. What's that, young man? You have something for me? A hempen bag filled halfway with ripe muntai beans. I'm missing bags of muntai beans. But how? Did you track down those wretched Apu-Apus? I had all but given up hope before you arrived. But with these beans, I can make enough muntai tonic for everyone in Hurstmill. As long as I have enough microchew leaflets to flavor in, there should be no complaints. Speaking of which, my son drank unflavored muntai tonic the other day. One of his friends challenged him to do it, he said. And do you know what? He drained the whole cup in one great gulp without making so much as a face. Oh, he grows stronger and braver by the day, nay, the very hour. Either that or my secret recipe is rather more delicious than I imagined. Now that I think about it, a good many people have described the taste as unforgettable. Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Chanterelle sauté. That sounds kind of good, actually. Alright, now what do you want us to do? Demetta needs someone to gather microchew leaflets for her cooking. Oh dear, if I'm to make this much muntai tonic, I'll need far more microchew leaflets. Young man, would you be so kind as to fetch me 4 leaflets from the microchews outside the hamlet? I'm whipping up a fresh batch of muntai tonic, you see. Oh, it's a lovely drink, absolutely bursting with nutrients and goodness. I'll have you know I always drink at least 1 cup a day. Alas, few people share my passion for healthy living. Truth be told, most won't touch the stuff. Not unless you add microchew leaflets. Anyway, apparently the taste and smell are too distracting or some such nonsense. Oh, but listen to me prattle on like an Ishgardian priest. I shall stop talking and start stirring. Well, don't just stand there, dear. Run along and fetch me those leaves. This batch will be ready soon, and it'd be such a shame if no one could drink it but me. Could drink it or would drink it? Sounds like nobody wants to drink it but her. But maybe it's like a cough syrup. Maybe it's like that Buckley's cough syrup. Maybe it tastes horrible, but works great. It's 1 down. Two down. Three down. And 1 more. And we are done. Perfect. So we'll hand this in. Now we're going to run all the way here and we'll do these 2 quests. And then it's back to Old Gridania. Demetta. Ah, you're back. Did you manage to find the microchew leaflets I asked for? A tender, fleshy leaf taken from a microchew. Let's see. Yes, that's 4. All right. Ah, such a lovely scent. Now, you gathered only the 4 I asked for, not one more, yes? Oh, I know I shouldn't have to ask, but these days, more and more people forget to take only what they need. If we're to live in harmony with the wood, we must respect life and remember what it means to take it. Never be wasteful. I know the value of life and know the value of our time here in this world. That's why I always live my life to the fullest, wasting nary a moment and nary a word. Nay, not so much as a single one. Remember, if you mean to remain within the 12's wood, you must be ever mindful to show respect and gratitude to the forest and to the elementals. You know, you remind me of my son. He's a good boy, but sometimes forgets what it means to be Gridanian. Why, just the other day I caught him and his friends throwing muntai beans at each other. Needless to say, I was terribly cross. Who wouldn't be? And all set to give them a memorable scolding when I noticed they were playing in teams and that my son was leading the winners. Oh, I know I shouldn't have been proud, but when I saw the way he marshaled his troops, by which I mean his friends, it was so clear to me that he was a born leader. Where was I? Oh, yes. You see, later that day I was cooking dinner and he, quite without prompting, offered to wash the vegetables. He's such a good boy, you know. Yeah, she doesn't waste one word. I'm sure everything she prattled on there was deeply important. Oh, Emiria has a quest for us. Is she the last one? Maybe. Doubtful. Emiria Hurstmill is deeply troubled and could do with the aid of a kindly adventurer. Pardon me, good sir. Might you be the adventurer of whom Elgbert speaks so highly? If you could spare but a moment. I've never thought myself a popular girl, and men rarely give me cause to believe otherwise, yet lately I've been the recipient of several gifts. Sparkling jewels and fine silks over which a prouder maid than I would surely swoon, all from an anonymous admirer. Naturally I was flattered, but I knew nothing of my mysterious benefactor, and so I endeavored to seek him out, only to discover that he is none other than Albert, an infamous rogue wanted for countless robberies in Gridania. I realize now that all of the presents were taken from others, and I have unwittingly won the affections of a dangerous criminal. But that's not all. With his latest gift came a request. He insists that we meet in the woods outside Hurstmill, where he intends to present me with his most precious gift. I am at a loss. I beg of you, good sir, will you not go in my stead? I wish only to be left in peace, but I fear a man such as he may be driven to violence when made to hear such words. I pray no harm comes to you. If harm comes to us, that's okay. We'll protect you from the crazy stalker. Let's see if I have better gear again. Oh right, no, on this type of class I do not until 15. Because I was a genius, you see, and I threw away all the stuff that I needed for level 5. And up. I think I threw everything up until 15 out the window. Like I said, pure genius. Oh well, we've survived. You hear a man cry out in rage. Albert the Lost. Deliver Albert's letter to Emiria. Well, that's not good. We have a letter for her. Hopefully it's good news, or hopefully it's not too stalkery and evil. All for naught. I give thanks that you were unharmed at least. A letter for me? A sweetly scented letter dropped by Aelbert. My dearest Emiria, I pray this letter finds you well. I know my gifts were sudden and many, but I hope they were to your liking. Seeing you in the first summer of your womanhood, I could restrain myself no longer. My thoughts have been only of you these past many moons, of what gifts might bring you happiness. Yet to see you smile from afar is not nearly enough. I long to live together with you in Hurstmill, and nothing would bring me greater joy. I would give you a grand garden filled with the white chamomile you love so. But such dreams can never come true. My crimes are known and will never be forgiven. The most I can hope for is for you to know my heart. That would grant me a measure of peace. And so, if it does not cause you distress, I would write to you again. Yours ever, Aelbert. Thank you for bringing me this letter, Razor. It's most precious gift. I understand now. But how did he know my favorite flower? Is Aelbert? No, it can't be. Anyway, we must return the presents to their rightful owners. I know it will not erase this Aelbert's sins, but perhaps the 12 will view him more kindly. Forgive me this final request, but could you go to Gridania and speak with a woman named Miyun? You should find her in the Carling Canopy. Tell her all that transpired here today. She'll know what to do. Yes, we will do that. But since we're picking up quests anyway, I think we're gonna also grab these last two down here and finish those. And then we'll go back to Old Gridania. I say we finish this faith. We've already done it once, but we're going to do it again. And my left eye's been burning all day today. It feels like it's on fire. I think it's a little too dry. I should put eye drops in it, but I don't have any. Right now there's a bit of a snow squall going on, so I don't want to go out and get it. There we go. That's done. Got 1,000 experience for it. Not much, but not bad. Okay. Yep, we're almost at the next questing spot. How are we doing for our hunting log? We need to go to Green Tier and Bent Branch and the Honey Yard. Bodwin. What does Bodwin want? Bodwin is looking for an adventurer to help with the pest problem. Okay, well, we don't mind dealing with pests. If you got mind to make yourself useful, why don't you call some mitlings for us? We train a lot of chocobos here, see? And the young'uns go wild when they get a sniff of a Mitelin. Some even throw their bloomin' riders. Let me tell you, it ain't easy trainin' a chocobo when she drops you on your head every time she sees a shadow. We've been gettin' nowhere with the birds lately. If you could rid us a few Mitelins, we'd be in your debt. And what does Vion, what would she like? Vion is searching for an adventurer to deliver an item. Okay. If you want work, I have need of an adventurer willing to dirty his hands. No, I speak not of dark deeds. I mean only to have you deliver something. I myself would not dare venture deep into the Twelf's Wood, but you seem more than capable of defending yourself. My colleague Jillian will furnish you with the item in question and provide all necessary directions. She should be somewhere behind the stables, supervising the field hands. Well, we have talked to Jillian before, so we do know where she is. Alright. Well, I'll be. Vivian actually found someone willing to lend a hand. Grab one of them burlap sacks over yonder, atop the crate. Aye. 'Tain't the most convenient location to be sure, but where else can we store that stinking shite? Nowhere a visiting customer might catch a whiff, that's for sure. Deliver it to Nolano down at Blessed Bud. That's west of here, in case you were wondering. Seems our conjurer friend takes his gardening pretty bloomin' seriously. Alright, so we'll pick up the burlap sack of manure, by the sounds of it. And now we'll go to deliver this to the Blessed Bud. It's not even that far away. We can carry some manure that far. And we can kill the Mitelings while we're at it. That worked quite well. Vorpal thrust, that just sounds powerful. I mean, in Dungeons and Dragons, there are very few weapons more powerful than the Vorpal sword. It's one of the few fights that didn't do increased damage or whatever on a critical. It just, like, decapitated whatever you were fighting at a critical. Or maybe it was like 19, if you rolled a 19 or a 20, it just like killed the thing flat out. It was, I do remember it was just absolutely ridiculous. That odor, is that what I think it is? This old flaxen bag contains something soft and warm. We know what it is. It's manure. Praise be to the elementals. I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. This bounty of chocobo manure shall nourish the plants and ensure their continued growth. Please relay my sincerest thanks to Vion upon your return to Tree Speak Stables. And a word of advice, wash your hands quickly, lest the clawing stench of feces linger. Yeah, I don't think we needed to be told to do that. I don't know too many people that would work with manure and not want to wash their hands. That's kind of gross to think about. Not kind of, that's absolutely disgusting to think about. Welcome back, friend. I gather from that smell that the task is complete. Oh my, did I neglect to inform you of the sack's contents? I cannot apologize enough. That would certainly explain why I agreed to help when countless others turned their noses up at the idea, so to speak. Well, what's done is done. Please accept this for your troubles, along with my thanks. Okay, well, we will get all of your money. We have someone named Momo waving at us and petting our kitten. Momo's a name that I'm familiar with from Xenosaga. It was a really good RPG, but a lot of people didn't like it because it's more like an interactive movie than it is a game. Thank you for your help. We can finally get back to training the young birds. My eye. It's burning like crazy. Chocobo's skittish by nature, see, and training them takes a deal of patience. It don't make the task any easier that soldiers and adventurers tend to ride them towards danger rather than away from it. Any road, we're grateful for the help. Here's a small token of our gratitude. And you've got another quest. Okay, let's do it. Bodwin is seeking an adventurer to make a delivery. We haven't forgotten how you helped us out with the Mightlands. Speaking of which, if you got a bit of time to spare, could I trouble you to gather some aphids? You can find them living in the tangled undergrowth near Blessed Bud. Don't be surprised if your presence attracts a starving ladybug or two. They're rather fond of the wee violkin, you see. When you've gathered the aphids, deliver them to Captain Guthrit over at Etat's Spire, and tell him Treespeak Stables sends its regards. Well, okay, let's do that. We're going after aphids now. Makes sense that would attract some ladybugs. Hopefully they don't attack us, because I always feel guilty attacking a ladybug. Alright. There's the tangled undergrowth. Dew drinker ladybug. Aw. We have to attack the ladybug. I don't like that. That's fine though. Search for aphids now. So we gathered the aphids. We're gonna level sync and we're gonna go kill this thing. Or at least we're going to try our best to kill this thing. That doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna succeed. Oh, that was a smart move, you monkey. He slowed us. It's okay, it'll be hard to kill us because just like the pugilist, we actually have access to second wind, which is a heal. We're a little harder to kill than the average bear. Doesn't mean we're invincible, like at all. It just means that we can take a bit more of a beating. Only 840, but we got a gold. That's the important part. What level? Ooh, that's level 25 and 37. Yeah, I don't want to go there yet. I'm looking at it going, oh, there's a teleporter. Could I make it to there? But 25 and 37? Yeah, I don't think we could. I'm not about to try it anyway. That was a cute chocobo barding. Looked like it was in winter gear. Alright, let's turn this in. What's that? You have something for me. Aphids. These tiny vile can gather on the young leaves of various forest foliage to feed. Ah, aphids from boat wine. This is indeed a blessing. What use have we for aphids, you ask? Why, they're oil, of course. There's not better than maintaining our weapons. Were it not for your timely delivery, I would have been forced to send a sentry to replenish our dwindling supplies. I'll have to thank Bodewine personally, and thanks to you as well, friend. Oh, now he has a quest for us. He wishes to enlist the services of an adventurer in the fight against the Ixal. Ah, Razor, just the fellow. Your efforts on behalf of Treespeak Stables mark you as a genuine talent. If you have confidence in your battlecraft, mayhap you would agree to help us in our fight against the Ixal. According to reports, Ixal scouts have been sighted by the river, due west of here. Though that area is uninhabited, it borders Treespeak Stables and Blessed Bud. We mean to drive them off before they can threaten our people. If several of their scouting parties were to be summarily dispatched, it might give their leaders cause to doubt the wisdom of their plan. Slay 2 Ixal Dull Talons, 2 Ixal Lost Wings, and 2 Ixal Slowbeaks. Show them the price they must pay for setting foot in our territory. Alright, well, let's charge them the ultimate price for them to pay. And hope that the rest of them figure it's too heavy a price. I don't get any ranged attacks, but it looks like just getting close was enough to pull, which is good. It's weird though how the pull works, because the other two haven't even noticed or cared. Even though I'm like right beside them. That's alright though, it's just weird. It's weird that two would come charging at me and the other two are just like, yeah. You want to slay us, that's fine. We have nothing against it. What the? Well, it looks like I don't have to go on to that other group. This thing just respawned crazy fast. Because I don't think it's a DPS issue. I only have 2 attacks, so it's not like I'm utilizing my abilities poorly. I guess I could have done it a bit faster if I had used the life surge, but that also has a 37 or 40 second cooldown. Which is it? Or 45 second cooldown, so it's not like I can spam it. That's why I don't think I did anything improperly there. Let's go up here. We'll turn this in. Maybe we'll get to 10. Maybe we will not. It was bloody work, but it had to be done. Your service to Gridania will not be forgotten. Thanks to you, we now have time to plot our next move. We could muster our forces and take the battle to the Birdmen, or consolidate our defenses before they return. I must needs consult with the commander. Well, we didn't gain a level, but we did finish all these quests in the area. So now we're going to go to Old Gridania again. Because I have the sneaking suspicion that we're not done with Hurst Mill. I think after we talk to Mirren, who we also have another quest for, we might end up having to go back to that girl. I already forget what her name was. Esmir or something like that. We've got a lot of side quests here too, so we're gonna do that. The conjurer Melaine seeks an assistant for her frantically busy student. You there, you're an adventurer, yes? Good, I have a task for you. Take yourself over to the Conjurer's Guild and speak with my student, Brea. She has her hands full preparing for the auguries and would likely welcome your assistance. In her excitement at becoming a conjurer, I fear my young disciple is pushing herself beyond the limits of her endurance. Enthusiasm is all well and good, but it would not do to have an initiate collapse from exhaustion. Yes, I agree. There's 2 more quests around here, so we'll pick those up. A botanist named Maine is hoping that an adventurer will pick up scattered rose hips for her. Stop right there, not another step. I apologize if I have startled you, but please be careful. The ground here is covered in rose hips, you see. My seed pouch has grown so threadbare that it finally split open. Unbeknownst to myself, I've been scattering azame rose hips all along this road. Oh, good sir, if you would help me gather them, I'd be ever so grateful. Thank you, for your kindness is truly a blessing from the elementals. The rose hips should be lying on the road between here and Greatlow Growery. Remember to tread lightly, lest you crush them underfoot. Okay, well, we're not going to crush them. We're going to pick them up. We only have to pick up 6, so I'm not sure how many there is. Probably only 6. That's the way games seem to work. Yeah, I only see 6. So that's no surprise, to be honest. And 1 more. Alright, we'll turn that in. Good sir, pray tell me you have recovered all the rose hips and abandoned not one to a traveler's boot. A bitter fruit of an azilma rose, or the bitter fruit of an azilma rose. Blessing be upon you! I feared this path would be lined with roses next year. Not that such a wondrous sight would be wholly objectionable, but azilma roses are ill-suited to this location. As a botanist, it's my responsibility to see Gridania's plants grow and thrive in the most ideal conditions. A place for every seed and every seed in its place, you might say. 'Twas most gracious of you to aid me in my time of need. I pray the elementals extend you the same kindness. Well, as I always say, I would rather have one person physically helping me than 1,000 hands clasped in prayer. A botanist named Ethelred needs an adventurer to make a delivery on his behalf. Gods damn it, another adventurer. You're like flies on muck. Whatever Gridania did to deserve such a plague, I don't know. I suppose times are changing, and they keep telling me I should, and perhaps you might be. Oh, God. Oh, God's help me. Just take this azame rose to Waldo of Stillgate Fade, will you? Well, what are you still standing there for? Go and deliver the bloody rose. Ethelred seems nurturing and loving and warm and fuzzy. He kind of reminds me of that old man that was the gardener in Star Trek at the Academy. Boothby, that's it, Boothby. He's supposed to play like the grouchy old man, and the actor that they got to play him did a fairly good job in playing that role. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was he did a really good job of playing a grouchy old man. But then Voyager came along and pretty much just ruined every plot for like every series. And they did it with like no hesitation or guilt. Okay, Waldo, we've got to bring you some roses. Welcome, adventurer, to the Conjurers Guild. Here we commune with the elementals and heed their guidance. Yet I must confess, the elementals did not whisper of your coming. Azima Rose, a single red Azima Rose entrusted to you by Ethelred. So we'll hand it over. We did indeed request an Azima Rose from Ethelred, but that you should bring it to us in his stead means that something wonderful has happened. Ethelred has long held a grudge against the many adventurers who have passed through Gridania's gates. His beloved flowers are renowned for their beauty, you see, and were once so highly coveted by Uldan collectors that they were picked nigh to extinction by fortune-seeking foreigners. Yet if it is peace we desire, we must still learn to look beyond mistrust born of the past and overcome our prejudices. So has the elder seed seer taught us, and so do we live. I doubt it was easy for Ethelred to entrust this Azima Rose to you. When he hears we have received it, he will come to know not all outsiders are deserving of scorn. Truly, it was by the will of the elements that you came to us this day. Please accept this as a token of our gratitude. Sure, we'll do that. And now we gotta go to the Conjurers Guild. Brea. Yes, I am Brea. But I am so awfully Oh, you say Lady Melaine herself asked you to assist me. In that case, I suppose you might lend a hand, especially as mine appear to be shaking, though only very slightly. Not that it's anything to worry about, mere nervous energy. Ahem. I would be exceedingly grateful if you would take this Azima Rose oil and refill the censers. There are two that require attention. Please have a care not to disturb the conjurers amidst their meditations. You must be as quiet and unobtrusive as possible. Alright, well, we've got a few... She's got another quest for us already, so I'm guessing she's really tired. A fragrant oil pressed from freshly harvested Azima rose hips. So we'll relight the censer. And do the same for this one. Now we'll go back to our friend and tell her we've done all of the things. My thanks. I must admit to being rather impressed by how faithfully you followed my instructions. I'd always considered adventurers to be an uncouth and rowdy lot, but I see you are capable of courtesy as well. Lady Melaine has a fine eye for character. You should feel honored that she chose you for the task. Yes, I feel honored. That's the word I would use. And this one at least gives decent experience, so that's good. Brea is busy with preparations for the coming ceremony and needs an adventurer to bring her scarlet oil. Might you perchance be comfortable around Violkin? If so, I have urgent need of your assistance. You see, I was preparing for the forthcoming auguries when I found to my great embarrassment that we lacked the requisite quantity of scarlet oil. If it's not too much to ask, I'd be most grateful if you could resupply us in time for the ceremony. Scarlet oil can be harvested from ladybugs, such as those found near the bannock. 6 of the violkin should yield the necessary amount. Pray return to me as soon as you have it. Well, again, I always feel guilty attacking ladybugs. That feels pretty much evil. We're actually going to go to Bent Branch because we're also working on our, what do you call it? stab book, our hunter log. Not our stabby book, but our hunter log. We've got things to do in our hunter log around Bent Branch, so we'll do that. Alrighty. Let's look around Bent Branch for our creatures. What do we need? Let's look at that first. We need dire mites. It's the only thing we need around here. And they said that they're around Bent Branch, and we're not really near Bent Branch, come to think of it. We have to go a bit south. Oh, that was bad. Well, let's go kill the ladybugs that... No, we'll go south. We're so close to 10 as well. That means we're going to be doing a guild heist. Or at least queuing for guild heists. Anything to help us get to 15 as fast as possible. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to be working on the archer. So that's going to be good. Archer is the only class so far I can't figure out, like, what it evolves into. Like, what is the archer's final form? Machinist? It almost makes sense. They both look like ranged fighters. They both use like projectile weapons. Although I think the machinist is its own thing. Kind of like the samurai. We should have gold for this anyway now. Yeah, we got gold. And we hit 10. Well, 10 and a half, really. That was actually really good. Okay, and we want to do this too. Finney has worked for a meddlesome adventurer. Another goddamn adventurer desperate to stick his nose in everyone's business, is it? Then seek out the groundskeeper of the Tamtara Deepcroft. You'll find him in a shack just outside the entrance, as the hermit is all too happy to live close to his work. When last I patrolled that area, I could hear him swearing inside his shack from the road. I know not what vexes the man, but I suspect he'll welcome your presence more than I. Wow, aren't you a warm and caring sod? Oh, right. We just unlocked something new that we can do. We're going to be doing guild heists, and we're actually going to do it this way. We're not going to do that, because we're going to switch to our gladiator and get us some bonus points. That was a really fast queue. I'm okay with that. Fast queues are beautiful. That's my favorite class, the Gunbreaker. Absolutely love tanking with the Gunbreaker. Okay. Enemies and parties will all attack at once. Try to avoid engaging more than one party at a time by keeping an eye out for knockback attacks. which may thrust you into a second party's line of sight. If the Gabu spots you, he will order all the other enemies to attack. Use ranged attacks to lure single targets from the pack without the massive seedling noticing. Yeah, well, we failed at that. They definitely noticed us. You've come this far, now finish him. He is finished, and we're gonna give this to Morgana. I like that name. I've always liked the Morrigan or Morgana style name. So, give them... I'll talk to this little battle warden. We're gonna get our extra experience, because it was the first time and there was no KOs or anything. Perfect. That went really well. Now we're going to queue up again. But this time we're going to be doing under the shell. This dire Mightling is just wanting a piece of us right now, so we'll finish him. Feeling kind of guilty though about queuing for things. I should at least finish my quests so that I have current gear. Oh well. At the same time, the first few guild heists, I haven't seen any issues with it. Balar, after a bit of work, are ye? I have a task what needs doing. Take these Nemenian lilies and leave them at the top of each barrow. You've doubtless seen the bones returned to life by foul magics, shambling around and harassing their surviving comrades. It hurts me soul to see it, adventurer. I cannot abide such blasphemy. 'Tis me hope that these lilies soothe their spirit and help them return to the matron's bosom. See me when you're finished. We will do so. Got another queue, so let's do this. And another gunbreaker. As Bachman sustains damage, he will summon Ashkin to fight at his side. Those tasked with protection of the party, gladiators, paladins, etc., should focus on directing enmity away from their companions. The more enemies that are on the battlefield, the higher the chance of casualties. Those who excel in dealing damage, archers, pugilists, etc., should focus on taking out the Ashkin as soon as they appear. No, we're just going to take out Bachman, because as soon as Bachman dies, we're done. And that's all I care about, is we get through this as fast as possible. Done. I gained another level, and we're going to give this to our healer. And I obtained 10,000 gil. That's a lot of money. The operation was a success. Well, same thing he always says. That's okay. We have done it. And we've hit level 11 at the same time. That's really good. Now we're going to go put these lilies on. We may have to fight a couple undeads, but that's okay. Let's put the lilies down. Okay, such as these use the offerings to the dead, are often used as offerings for the dead. Okay. That's one. There's one up there. Nope. Gotta take out this thing. Yeah, our damage is starting to suffer a bit, so we should definitely go do our class quests. Just so that we're not, you know, hitting for 0 damage when we do an actual dungeon run. That would be embarrassing. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be embarrassed if my DPS was like 0 because I didn't do anything. Glowing glowflies. Plus, these things are starting to hit hard too. This is what happens when you don't keep up with your gear. You start doing no damage. Oh, I'm a terrible person. Alright. Just so you know, in about an hour and a half, I'm gonna have an interruption. I'll probably be muting things really quick once the cleaners get here. Because they have a key, so they can just come on in, and that's the standing arrangement, so... Zombie mage. Okay, well, let's kill this zombie mage. If we can. Like I said, we've been being kind of terrible and not updating our gear, so our damage is getting lower. But actually, even though we might not have a good weapon, I think I have level 10 armor in that. Yes, I do. So I can actually switch to level 10 armor. Whoop. But my damage will still be a little low. Because this will give me good protection, but my attacks aren't going to go too much higher. Okay, let's put that on. Well, that's actually not true, because we're going to be getting a lot more damage per swing based on our strength, so yeah, this will make our damage go up, actually. Okay, that looks good. Let's update that. There we go. We're up to pretty much common, or not common. The correct level, that's it, of gear. It's just our weapon that's terrible. It's a level 1. Now let's kill all of these things. Hey, there's a pod 316. That's from Nier. Was there a Nier crossover? That's actually kind of cool. Kind of makes sense though, because Nier is Square Enix owned too, so they have the rights to it, so they could put it in. Same with Kingdom Hearts, they could have a crossover with the Kingdom Heart characters as well, like what's his name? The boy and the girl, I can't even remember their names. But I also never really played Kingdom Hearts. Korra, I think that was the name. I only played Kingdom Hearts 1, and I never actually beat it. I got up to the jungle? I think it was Tarzan's jungle. But I never got much further than that. I don't know, the story started off good for me, but then in the first one, it just felt like it was getting more and more complicated, and I eventually just lost interest in it. For me, complexity doesn't necessarily make it good. Sometimes things are just too complex to figure out, and you're just like, you know what? I don't even care anymore about the interactions. There's a reason that this saying, sometimes less is more, is a thing. Because sometimes it is in fact true. Sometimes you don't want more complexity, sometimes you want things to be a little easier and a little more straightforward. That's a gold for that, so that's good. And we're almost level 12. And we're only 2 hours in. Well, if we hit 20 early, that's actually good. We'll switch over to the archer and just continue on, see how far we get in the 5 hours. You've done holy work this eve, lad. I cannot fathom what could drive the dead to rise up and seek to do us harm, but I pray that this helps put an end to it. May the matron watch over and keep you safe. No, we don't need that. We can press our luck and get to level 15 gear. Because once we get to 15, we're good. Like, we're solid. So we're going to get this quest here. And then we're actually going to get this one, walking the planks. Finney, a guard at Galvath's Spire, seeks a willing volunteer to deal with the slug problem. Huh. You must be desperate for work indeed if you would speak with me a second time. Either that or you never learned to leave well enough alone. But if you're so bloody eager, then here's another job for you. Head on over to the hedge tree and clear out some nests of saffro something slugs. I can't pronounce that word. I have no idea. I've never seen that word. All you need to do is sprinkle some of this flat ale on the ground where you find the moist depressions. You should soon be up to your armpits in slugs. Don't let any of the buggers slither away, and make sure you find and clear out all 3 nests. Alright, well, we will do so. Even if you did yell at us about it, like, we're just here to help and you're being all grouchy about it, but... Okay, continuing on, we're going to find 3 slug nests. Oh. There we go. Damage is actually back up to pretty decent. And the gear we have now will be our gear for another few levels, anyway. Oh, there's one ability I don't have on my bar that I think should be there. That's right, the limit break. Because as a DPS, I'll be using it quite often. Flat ale. Having been left uncovered for a few days, this cheap ale port brew has lost all of its bubbles. Yeah, well, I don't want to drink that then. So we'll use that to get the slugs. I'm guessing the point or the idea is that the slugs are going to be attracted to the sugary aspect of it. Kind of like when you want to, or if you were trying to get ants to go to a trap or something, fill it with something nice and sugary. Although it doesn't always work, because ants are interesting in the sense that they hunt for food that the hive needs or the nest needs. So if they don't really need sugary stuff, but they need things like rich in protein or whatever, setting out ant traps with sweet stuff in it won't actually do anything. They'll just ignore it because the nest doesn't need it. Which is why sometimes you'll see people who will buy ant traps and they say that the trap doesn't work. It could be because they bought a sugar-based one and the ants have no interest in it. The easiest way to figure out what trap to get at the time is to put out something that's a protein and something that's a sugar base, and just wait and see what the ants go for. Once you find out what they want, you buy a trap with that as the bait. And then you leave it out and kill all the ants. Ants are annoying. And my apartment building is horrible for like ants and that. Doesn't matter how clean you keep your place. Like, I have professionals come in and clean it, and I clean every other day or so myself, and I still have like those itty bitty ants all over. So, well, not all the time. It's just when my ant traps are used up, I find them again. Speaking of which, I found 2 yesterday, so I bought new traps, so threw out my old ones because they're no longer useful. It kind of looks like today or not today, but at the moment they're hunting sugary stuff, so I ordered a sweet ant trap. And I don't mean sweet as in like, that was so sweet, man. I mean it has like a syrup base for its bait. Alright, we're going to turn this in, then we're going to go down here and do the walking the plank. Then we're going to go up here, turn that in. And we are still busy. Judging by the looks of you, no slug escaped unharmed. Huh, I don't suppose you have the faintest notion what the Tamtara Deepcroft is, do you? It's the final resting place of those who perished during the calamity. The slugs you so handedly dispatched were feeding on the flowers we had laid there in remembrance of the fallen. The monsters multiply and food grows scarce. Perhaps there was naught else for them to feed on, but to see those wreaths disturbed thus was more than I could bear. And now I've said too much. Here, take your reward and leave me be. Well, if you give me another task, I'm gonna be bothering you still. Because I mean that way, apparently. Nope, he's done with me for now. So that's good. Off to the next area. We'll get this, maybe we'll just run. Forget him for now, because he's going to always be there. But this fate will be done in about 6 minutes. There's one other person there right now, so if we assist them, we can actually finish this within the time limit. We have 6 minutes to do it, but we can do it in less. Oh, I also need these guys for my... Yeah, we need these guys. This is good. That healer ran off. That's going to be bad for us. Well, kind of. Not really. We're alright. Okay, maybe we will be a little closer to death. than I like to admit. We can still do this. We're still fine. We have 72 seconds before we can actually heal. We're gonna run, because we're about to die. That would suck major. Okay, let's... Oh, shoot. Did we just die? We might have. No, we're okay. We're okay. Alright, let's equip a healing potion or two. Because we kind of need them. Where did our healing potions go? Probably in the 4th. Well, we need food too, so we'll eat this. And I don't know where our healing potion went, but that's okay. We're back at full health, so it doesn't really matter. Can't wait to play the Conjurer, because then at least we have heals going all the time. Which will be very helpful. Pretty much all the healing classes feel overpowered to a degree. See, if that healer would have bothered to help us, we could have just stayed in an area and just fought everything together, but I'm the only... Well, I shouldn't say that, but I feel like I'm one of the few suckers around here that always tries to help everybody else out. But that's not true. I've seen a few people that are willing to lend a hand. This should be our last kill. Hopefully we get the gold for it. There we go. Fate complete. We got gold. That's all I care about as far as the fates go. We're gonna kill the tree slug. I don't know how many we need. That should be the last one, actually. Yes, that was. Okay, perfect. So we got our tree slugs. Now we can find out what this person wants. And then we'll turn in some quests and gather some more. Because we still have some quests in the town, but I think I might leave the rest of those for the, whatchamacallit, archer. Wealth of local at the Mirror Planks wants you to help deliver goods that have been unloaded at the pier. Ah, perfect. You're just in time to help deliver some goods that arrived not moments ago. Allow me to double check my manifest. Ahem. Now listen carefully. Take the suit of plate mail to Daramert. He's the guard you see right over there. The Muntai beans belong to Kylie, and the smoked crayfish balls to my friend Bertha here. That's it for this load. A strapping adventurer like you should barely work up a sweat, am I right? The cargo you're looking for hasn't moved since they unloaded it at the end of the pier. Much obliged. Alright, well, let's do that. Let's pick up the plate mail. Oh, my eye. Ow, ow, just a sec. Oh. Now we'll get the Muntai beans. And the crayfish balls. Now we'll just turn them all in. It's not exactly like we have to go very far. So, oh, they're all over there. 1, 2, 3. No, this won't do it all. I'm sure I heard Walter mention the shipments had smoked crayfish balls. Fishing bait delivered to the mirror planks. Oh, I thank you. Oh, I thank you very much. It would have been a short afternoon of fishing if this bait hadn't arrived. Yeah, I bet. Alright, Kylie. They should be here now. Dried muntine beans delivered to the mirror planks. Are these the muntine beans? Praise the matron. It's my job to pick up provisions from the pier and deliver them to the settlement in the area, but I couldn't leave without the beans. Now I can finish loading up my cart and be on my way. Thank you for your help. Yeah, we all know who those beans are going to. Hearst Mill. Have you something for me? The unblemished suit of steel plate armor delivered to the mirror planks. Oof, what is... my new plate mail. And what would a wood whaler want with metal armor, you ask? Let us just say that after a number of engagements with Garlet and heavy infantry, my mind has been opened to the protection such steel encasements can provide. That makes sense. All done then? Excellent work. Swift and sure. Adventurers are such handy individuals to have around. If we leave cargo piled up on the pier, the next crew has no room to unload their shipment, you see. It can be back-breaking work, but someone has to do it. Yes, I agree. Event cancelled. You're unable to carry more items. Oh, right. It's not my equipment that's full, it's my actual bags. What can I throw out for now? Well, I'm not going to throw out anything that... I'll throw out ether. But I'm not going to throw out anything that's difficult to replace. All done then? Excellent work. Swift and sure. Oh yeah, I just read that. Okay. Now we got 2 more quests in the area. There's a merchant, so... Oh, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have thrown... If I would have been paying attention, I wouldn't have had to throw anything out. Well, that's what I get for not looking. So I can't be too upset. This basically comes down to I wasn't watching, so I got what I deserved. Zinc ore, I don't really need that. Okay. A resident of the Mirror Planks is seeking someone to assist him in his work. Can I interest you in another job? This one will be a little more of your skills, I promise. What I need is for you to swat some of those hornet swarms you see, buzzing about the place and collecting their husks. About 4 bags worth should be enough. What am I going to do with a pile of dead Bilekin? Well, the sooner you give them to me, the sooner you'll find out. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, let's get the hornet swarms. We shall kill swarms of hornet. Okay, that's 1 hornet. Here's a second swarm. Now I gotta find a third swarm. There's one. And there's one on the other side of the tree too, so there's our 4. Okay, and the 4th one. I just saw one. There it is. Alright, that's our 4. So let's turn that in. I'm gonna jump. You have the husks? Good, good. Hand them over then. The carcasses of common hornets. The stingers are still intact. Ah, these are perfect. Hope they didn't sting you too terribly. Now all we do is take some bottles of liquor and squeeze these beauties inside like so, and there we have it. A fresh batch of my special sting brew. The ranchers of Bent Branch Meadows put in an order for a bottle quite some time ago. But gathering those husks is always a bit of a chore. Ahem, speaking of chores, would you mind taking it to them as soon as you are able? The last you're after goes by the name of Margot. Give her the sting brew along with my regards. Oh, and apologize for the delay, would you? Yes, we'll do that. A local at the mirror planks is looking for someone to retrieve her fishing rod from Lilystone. You seem a capable sort. Would you mind running over to Lilystone and retrieving my favorite fishing rod for me? I was happily dropping a line into the water, you see, when I suddenly noticed some ghostly sphere of fire bearing down upon me from behind. In a blind panic, I twisted around and flung my rod at the apparition, before fleeing back here to the planks. I dimly remember the rod passing straight through those unnatural flames and hitting the side of the tent I set up for afternoon naps. It's probably still there, but I can't bring myself to... You'll go in my stead? Oh, thank you. Alright, Bertha. We'll go get your, We're gonna go and get your fishing rod for you. Don't worry about that. Nothing worse than having your naps interrupted. That's a criminal travesty. Oh, I do see her little tent there. Now you saying it... Oh, there it is. The well-worn fishing rod. Okay. She's brave to be here. Really brave indeed. I wouldn't recommend making a nest here. No matter how tired I was, I don't think I would want to nest with this many creatures around. And definitely not so close to a watering hole. Alright, we got this, so let's go back. Give her fishing rod back. Okay. We're almost at the little hamlet. It's kind of small to be called a village, that's for sure. It's basically just a stop point. Actually, I'd almost be tempted to just call it a guard station. Did you find my fishing rod? The 12 only know how many fish have been caught with this antique rod. Yes, this is it. Thank Nafika you came along. I just can't fish with anything else. The Vilekin and such around here pose no threat to me, but those flames, I've never seen the like. I wonder if I'll ever build up the courage to fish at Lilystone again. I couldn't tell you. Okay, we're gonna sell things again. Get rid of these. That's excellent. Another 300. We're up to 63,000 gil. That's good. North we go. Back to Bent Branch. We're going to turn in our 2 quests. And as long as we don't get any more quests, we'll continue on to New Gridania and turn in all of the quests there. We're level 13, so that's good. We got 2 class job quests to do. We have our level 5 and our level 10. Soon we'll have our level 15 if we keep this up. Kukovachi, well, do you plan to keep me in suspense? I must have a chocobo for my What's this? They told you nothing of her material desires? Ugh, the stubbornness of these Gridanians. It's infuriating, and I should have known better than to hire a buffoon for such delicate work. To think of the amount of gil I have wasted on this fruitless venture. Oh, cease your mewling. I promised you a reward, and a reward you shall have. Now leave me to my misfortune. Yes, you're a grouch too, aren't you? Lugculot at Benchbrant Meadows wishes you to produce or procure fence building materials from Diormites. Greetings, sir. You have the distinct air of an adventurer. Might I trouble you for some assistance? In recent days, a heartless cat has been sneaking into the ranch to scare our chocobos. The poor birds are in a state of constant unease, wondering when the next fright will come. It is my hope that extending the fencing will help to keep the intruder out. To that end, could I ask you to procure some strands of Diormite web? They make for surprisingly sturdy construction material. You should be able to obtain the web from the Diormites themselves. There are usually a few to be found roaming the lands around the ranch. 6 strands should be sufficient. Alright, yes, we will do that. But while we're at it, we're going to give the Sting Brew. That's it. Yes, I'm Margot. How may I... A potent liquor created through the fermentation of hornet carcasses. Ah, the Sting Brew, at last. I'm aware of what must be done to acquire this, and am most grateful to you. Few folk are willing to run towards a swarm of wrathful hornets. Ordinarily, this liquor is drunk for the unique and not altogether unpleasant stinging sensation it causes on one's tongue. It is, however, also an indispensable tool for repelling insects. We sprinkle it over the fields where the Gishel greens are planted. Thanks to you, the crops will be untouched by pests this year. I hope one of our well-fed chocobos can return the favor by serving you as a mount someday. Yes, me too. That's all the bent branch done. Oh wait, no, we still have this quest. We have to, kill dire mites and get their, webs. We need 6 of them. And we need ladybugs for their oil. But that's for the quest at Gridania. Once we get back to Gridania, we'll start our level 5 and level 6. Or level 5 and level 10 Lancer quests. Hopefully that gets us to 15 or close to 15. And then we can start doing instance runs up to 20. Three more. Oh wow, I got attacked by all 3. That's okay. Once we finish these 3, we'll be done the quest, so it works out. We're fine with all the attacks. We got a little Lalafell, who's also a Lancer, who's really stabbing away and jumping, getting his exercise. Not gonna lie, I'm still arguing if I should turn myself into a Lalafell. I mean, being a big lion is pretty cool, but I can't wear hats. That's a big problem. I like hats. Well, I can wear them. I just don't get the visual appearance of them. And I kind of don't like that. I like seeing the hats. I'm up to 3 of the little ladybugs. Here's my 4th ladybug. There's 5 and 6. Okay, we're done. So back to Bent Branch we'll go, and then back to Gridania. Perfect. I'm pretty sure Gridania is going to give us more. Do we have anything in green tier that we need to kill? Yes. We got 2 things in green tier that we need. So before we go to New Gridania, we'll go to green tier. That'll probably get us to 14 because that's for our hunting log, and they tend to give really good experience. and anything to get up to level 15 at this point. Alright. Ah, you've returned. Tell me, were you able to procure the dynamite web I requested? Newly spun dynamite web. Little time has elapsed since this strand was spun, and so the web remains extremely sticky. Yes, this will do nicely. These are perfect for binding posts together. Were I still in Ishgard, I would never have entertained the notion of using such a bizarre material in this manner. Oh, did I not mention I was from Ishgard? Aye, well, Gridania is, in actual fact, my second home. My native land was once famous for its chocobo stables. No man in Eorzea could speak of the creatures without his thought turning naturally to Ishgard. Sadly, however, that time has passed. I left my homeland to accept employment here at the ranch, instructing others in the methods of chocobo husbandry. Yet I have found that it is often I who am the recipient of others' instructions, and on a great many matters. Truly, one can never know what life may hold in store. Done. Okay, green tier we go. And then New Gridania. That finished all of the side quests for this area. Which is good. We're keeping our word. We're doing everything. We're going to do all the stuff and things in this area. And all the areas. So when will I start streaming other games other than Final Fantasy XIV? I would say it's going to be 4, maybe 5 months. Maybe longer, it's hard to say. I'm going to have to go around the tree. I thought maybe I could go through, but apparently you cannot. That's fine too. Okay. Green tier, here we are. Now we gotta look for our creatures. We need pigs. We don't need mosquitoes, which is nice. I don't like mosquitoes. There's the pigs. Do we need these trees? I don't think so. But we definitely need the hoglet. And how many hoglets do we need? 3. Of course it's 3. Doesn't look like we need the trees, so that's alright. Charging hogs. See how many of these charging hogs we can kill in time. Or before the thing ends. We may not actually finish the fate, and it'll say failure, but maybe we can get a gold standard regardless. I mean, just because we're gonna fail doesn't mean we can't do our best. Should always do our best, regardless of what our chances are. Because in games, or especially in things like this, 4 minutes is actually a long time. You can do a fair bit in 4 minutes. I should not have allowed myself to get stunned, because that always cuts back on time. We may actually be able to finish the fate. Like I said, 4 minutes is a long time. We still have a little over 3 minutes, so this shouldn't actually be a problem. Even if it comes right down to the wire, it's fine. As long as we finish. Then it doesn't matter if it's down to the wire or not. As long as they're just using their line attack, that's fine. Because that's just a damaging strike. But if they do the circle one, I gotta run out of it, because that'll stun me. And I don't want to lose significant time because I can't move. Oh, one more. We only need, well, maybe 2. I think this will be the last one though, but I could be wrong. We're not going to worry too much. Yeah, we finished. That was actually really good that we got that. Gold is always good. Now we can finish our hoglets. Okay, that's all of the hoglets that I need. So what else did we need? The anoles. Sounds like a pasta dish. I think those things are over this way. I honestly don't know where the anoles are. And that's always been the problem for me in the game so far, is I usually end up spending a lot of time hunting down the critters. Killing them doesn't usually take so long, but finding them can be a bit annoying at times. There they are. I was right. Okay, let's go. How many of you do we need? Probably 3. That's my guess. Yep, 3. What a coincidence. Need one more. There we go. Thing still hit me with frost breath. Oh well. Didn't do much damage. Done. Awesome. Now we're going to go to New Gridania and we're going to start turning quests in left, right, and center. All of the quests. That's what we must turn in now. What's this one? One Enchanted Eve. What level is it? Level 4. I'm level 13. Yeah, I can't. Well, I could do it. I would have to lower my combat level, like sync, but I don't really want to do that. Yeah, what the heck, actually. Come to think of it, we do need as many golds as possible. I don't think we've done this particular fate, so let's get it done. We're in the area. we'll get some experience for this, so may as well. And then we have the archer to do tomorrow. That's Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday we're going to have to do our best on the crafting classes. Since I kind of want to get the combat classes up more though, I'm wondering if I should drop leveling the crafters for now, and once I get my combat classes to 80, then raise my crafting classes. But I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Either way, it doesn't actually matter because eventually all the all the jobs are going to be hitting 80, but I don't know. I kind of like leveling everything at roughly the same time, because later on it means I might actually be able to build my own gear instead of having to buy it, so I can see how it would be beneficial to keep my crafters up to snuff, so to speak. And there's just so many crafters. I'll probably have all of my combat classes to 30 before I get all my crafting classes to 20 or 25. We'll see though. If that's what happens, that's what happens. Where the heck is New Gridania? Oh, it must be right up here. Yeah, it's up here. You go here, then you go around the corner, and then you go up into here. There we go. We found it. Okay. There's now a quest here. Maybe we'll take that while we're at it. Errol. Oh, we learn a dance. Errol has noticed a rare bit of excitement within the serene city-state and would share with you what he knows. I make no secret about my disinclination toward Gridanians, as you may know, but I just saw a rare sight that I would be remiss not to share with a fellow adventurer. Just over yonder in the acorn orchard, I saw a comely maiden, new to these benighted parts. I'd wager, dancing with a gaggle of younglings. 'Twas a dance I'd not seen before, and I've seen my fair share. Do they perhaps ready themselves for some fresh rite? After so much doom and gloom, I thought I shouldn't mind a day of merrymaking. Ah, just the thought excites me. Would you see what it's all about? Alright, well yeah, we'll do that, because we learn a dance. And I want to learn all of the dances. A message from Emeria of Hurst Mill, you say? I see. Oh, Albert, you fool. I'll deal with the stolen goods. Worry not. Yes, I know of the boy and his family. He once lived in this very town. One day he stole a handful of chamomile seeds from an influential merchant in the ebony stalls. You see, this boy had a sister, and chamomile was her favorite flower. Seeking only to make his sister happy, I doubt he grasped the gravity of his act. Regardless, his parents felt that he had brought terrible shame to the family, and so they disowned him. Cast out of hearth and home, he grew desperate, and those who think only of survival think little of law. A common enough tale perhaps, but no less tragic for it. And now you know the truth. The sister Albert loved so dearly is Ameria. Ameria was too young to remember when Albert left, so her parents decided to conceal his existence. However, word of the boy's banishment soon spread, and her parents were forced to move to Hurstmill to maintain the fiction. By now, Ameria has surely heard rumors of her long-lost brother, though a gentle girl like her would never question her parents' honesty, and whatever faint memories she once had are long gone. But Albert has never forgotten Ameria. Despite the danger, I suspect he now keeps close to Gridania, refusing to leave his beloved sister a second time. I'll send Ameria some chamomile seeds by way of thanks for helping us to recover the stolen goods. If only it were as simple as returning them to their rightful owners. Sadly, Albert's crimes will not be so easily forgiven. But perhaps by the time these seeds have sprouted and their flowers bloomed, he will have found a new path. Doubtful. And I say doubtful because I'm pretty sure he's dead. So I think we'll leave correspondence for our archer. Because it's right in that area, so might as well. Okay, and there's a quest right here from Idle. Idle's looking for adventurers to deliver a forgotten item. An adventure, precisely what we needed. Not a moment ago, we dispatched our newest recruit, Artor, to inspect Mythketo's amphitheater. Regrettably, the young hire has more spirit than sense, and he charged off without his tools. Suffice it to say, he won't be getting any work done. Would you be so kind as to deliver them to him? Wonderful. Seek out Gloric in the Acorn Orchid behind the atrium. You should have Artor's tools. Alright. Okay, we don't need anything from there, so we have to go over here. We'll learn our dance. And I'm running out of time before I have to take a quick little break, but that's okay. Leoric. Idle sent you? Give me a moment. Here they are, still fresh and unused as the day he got them. Doubt he's even realized he left the bloody things behind. First day and he forgets his tools. Daft sod needs a kick up the... Yeah, okay. He's not going to finish that. Think of the children. Don't use the bad words. Nicola. Nicola needs the assistance of a kind adventurer. I know all about adventurers. You'll do anything for a reward, won't you? Well then, I want you to make Anoli laugh. She's no good with strangers, so first you should introduce yourself politely, with a bow. Let's see. Let's bow to her. That wasn't much of a bow. Hi. Well, that was a depressing hi. That seemed to work, but she still looks sad. Try sharing the joy in your heart with her. That'll prove how nice you are. Okay, let's do joy. You're odd. I think she's starting to like you. Good. Now that you've broken the ice, I bet that if you surprise her and just start dancing, she'll laugh her head off. Well, let us see. Giggle. You're a really good dancer, mister. That looked like fun. Maybe I should try it sometime. Thank you. You're pretty good at this. Anoli lost her father 5 years ago during all the fighting. She hasn't laughed much since then. So I wanted to, we're all worried, but a lot of the younglings have been following me around lately and, you wouldn't understand. Anyway, thanks for the help. Yeah, no worries. What does Edith want? Or Edith? A day of merrymaking? Is that all you adventurers think about? I'm here to teach, my dear fellow. From me, these younglings are to learn a most sacred, meaningful, and uniquely uplifting dance. Now, I realize full well that tradition may not hold much allure for the young, but I didn't think they would up and run away. This manner of disobedience is unprecedented. It's all the more surprising considering they obey the timber master without demur. What I would give to know his secrets, but I must wait here for my unruly charges. I wonder, though, might you ask the man how he tamed them? Well, first, he probably doesn't refer to them like pack animals that need to be tamed. I don't think she should be a teacher if that's what she wants to call herself, if she can't handle children or doesn't like children. Doesn't really work out very well. Let's see what Beaton has to say about it. Another green adventurer come to play with saws. Apparently not. Speak your mind, child. So the younglings will not heed their dancing master, and I'm to provide the solution? Master Edith seems able enough, but having no generosity towards herself, she has none, But having no generosity towards herself, she has none for her charges. Give the younglings these on her behalf, and bid them return to their lesson. Alright, well, we're going to give toys to the children, because children love toys. If I can find the children, that is. Saw that coming, saw that coming, saw that coming. So let's go to the Conjurer's Guild. Or actually, let's go to the amphitheater. Is that all the quests? Except the one that I said I was going to leave for my archer. Yes, that is all the quests. That's good. Alright, Aethernet. Alright. Oh yeah, we've got a whole bunch of quests here to do. And we will do them. Eventually we will get all of these quests done. What level do I have to be for the Oh, you're right, that's level 25. That's a botanist thing. The gleeful girl. But I don't want to be a dancer. Why can't we just play? I mean, I guess we could dance for fun, but I don't think Mistress Edith knows how. She's so uptight. A wooden toy lovingly crafted by Timber Master Beaton. Is this one of Master Beaton's toys? Does this mean there's more if I go back to class? I'm on my way. I feel bad. I'm kind of lying to her. It's like, oh yes, there will be more toys. But I don't think there's going to be more toys. Bubbly boy. I ran off because it's boring. All Mistress Edith says is how we're doing it wrong. Well, I can see how that gets annoying. Hey, that's one of Master Beaton's. If this is supposed to be a bribe, then you've got yourself a deal, adventuring man. Well, at least he admits it, that he can be bought. Alright, let's talk to Brea. Ah, you're back. Have you procured the scarlet oil as I requested? Yes, we have. A viscous yet odorless secretion taken from the underbelly of a common ladybug. Yes, everything appears to be in order. The ceremony may proceed as planned. I am grateful to the elements for delivering you to us. Pray accept this small token of our appreciation. Oh, you almost had me, you sneaky, sneaky thing. For a second there, I thought you were going to say you were grateful for the help. And then he turned around and said, no, you're grateful to the elementals. Well, fine. Now I gotta go deliver these tools. We're gonna try and get these two done. The delivery of love, I'm not sure I want to do that right now because that's the Valentine's Day event. And we've got plenty of time to do that. I'm not necessarily saying we should wait till the very last moment to do it, but at the moment we're safe to just let it sit for a day or two. Dumascend. Dumascend has need of an adventurer to deliver a message. You, there, adventurer, could you deliver a message for me? My superior, Millicent, is stationed outside Atelier Fen Yitl. She's doubtlessly busy, but I'm past due to be relieved. Long past due, truth be told. However, I can't simply abandon my post. Speak to her for me, would you? But choose your words wisely. She has a bit of a temper. Okay, well, it makes sense that you want to send us then. Let's see what Estain wants. Sylphic gratitude. Estain, the caretaker of Mi Keto's amphitheater, needs an adventurer to help her tidy up. Greetings, traveler. Come to see Mi Keto's famed amphitheater, have you? I am Estain, caretaker of this fine centerpiece of Gridanian culture, and I fear I must needs trouble you for assistance. You see, it is not only well-meaning men like yourself who are drawn to this place. The sylphs often visit in the dead of night, long after our citizens have gone to bed. We have no particular objection to their presence, and they seem grateful for the accommodation. But so much so, in fact, that last night they left a token of their appreciation. In the form of vegetables. A lot of vegetables. Their generosity is more than welcome, of course, but the sheer quantity of the things makes gathering them all somewhat of a chore, and it's not as if I don't have enough to do already. In short, I'd be most grateful for any help you could give me. Alright, let's go collect the vegetables. There's nothing wrong with getting vegetable offerings. I wish I got a whole ton of vegetables as an offering. Vegetables are delicious. That's 4 vegetable offerings. 2 more. One more. There we go. We are complete. Well done, friend. Miketo herself would sing you praise. She knew well the power of art, how it could strengthen the soul of a nation and preserve its history for further generations. This amphitheater was her greatest gift to Gridania, and it was her wish that all folk use it freely, not only for performances and festivals, but as a place to share memories and make new ones. I wonder if the Sylphs come here to do just that. That said, I do wish they would find other ways to express their gratitude. We have no need of vegetables here, but mayhap the Carline Canopy can make use of them. Anyway, thanks be to the elementals for bringing you here today. Yeah, why don't you bring them over to the restaurant? That would make sense. And I'm sure the restaurant isn't going to complain about getting free produce to cook. What? I'm terribly busy right now, and would thank you not to bother me. I'm a carpenter of the prestigious oak atrium, and I have repairs to... A sturdy box filled with a set of pristine carpentry tools. Ah! Where did I put my... Oh, gods, I take it you're from the guild too, then. What's that? Idle sent you? With my tools? Yes. I was actually just about to go and, this is so embarrassing. My apologies, it's just... I've been so focused on the task at hand. You know, it's a miracle this amphitheater even survived the calamity. It was the Carpenters Guild that saved it, moving it piece by piece and rebuilding it. When I saw what they had done for Gridania, I knew what I wanted to be. But gods, when they told me my first task was to come here. Anyway, thank you for bringing me my tools. You're new to the Oak Atrium too, right? Well, let's both work hard for the guild, for the good of the guild, eh? Oh, and may the elements watch over you and keep you safe. Sure. Sounds good. Bashful boy. Scoop with both hands, then look left, up, right, down. Or is it up, down, left, right? I wish you would let me take notes. The Konami Code. Wooden toy. A wooden toy lovingly crafted by Timber Master Beaton. Oh? Why, this is made of maple. It's unmistakable. Ha! Master Beaton would tell you the grain of it almost flows like syrup. Someday I'll be a timber master like him. He wants me to go back to Mistress Edith's class, doesn't he? He always tells us that if you can true a piece of wood, there's no excuse for not truing yourself. Alright, I'm going. Alright, now we're going to talk to Millicent and hear her roar, apparently. What's all this about? Domacin says he needs his break? The nerve of that sniveling little shite, crying for relief at a time like this. Has he already forgotten how short-handed we are since that business with the Ixal the other day? And sending a bloody unknown venturer to do his bleatin', no less. That self-serving sod thinks only of his own woes, rubbing his sore souls while welcoming all manner of guild-grabbing ventures into our holy wood. Useless, bloody fool. Makes me blood boil, it does. Yeah, but it's not you I should be giving a piece of me mind to. You seem a decent enough sort, considering. Still, understand that it's our duty to keep an eye on every stranger that passes through these parts. Any road, I appreciate you lending an ear to my subordinate. Damn fool that he is. Go on then, and stay out of trouble. Wow, she's a little bit feisty. That's okay, feisty is good. And now off we go to our guild master for the stabby class. We have much more stabbings to do. And under 2 hours to do all the stabbing. And we're level 14 as well. We're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, let's turn all of the things in. Voice a lot. The squirrels are dealt with then? Very good. I'm pleased to see you have proven yourself useful. What's that? You wonder what happens to adventurers who fail to complete such trifling tasks? Why, such sluggards soon find there's no place for them within the city. And where do they end up after leaving Gridania? Well, you shall hear the truth of that before long. Oh, interesting. Alright, well that's done. Now let's turn this in. So you're back. I trust you have learned something of the essence of our art. A lancer learns best when he is doing each thrust making him stronger. Such thing as strategy and technique will come in time. And never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. That is well. It is clear you see the truth in my words. That will be all for the present. Now take up your weapon, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. When next we meet, I hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. Yes. Well, we are much stronger now. We're almost level 15. Guildmaster Wayne would teach you the meaning of courage. Ah, you have returned. I take from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good, you are ready to begin the next phase of your training. You will recall my telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something which one finds unnerving. However, a lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn a distinction between courage and recklessness, then he divides the former into two aspects. I would have you learn each with a spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all of his training will swiftly flee his mind, and he will struggle to overcome opponents whom he would ordinarily have bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a lancer in sooth, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this and you will be able to call upon every ounce of strength and skill when it matters most. And so to your first task. The river banks of the Central Shroud are home to Vilekin known as Yarzans. Fiercely territorial creatures will attack anyone who strays too close to them, making the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, sparing all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of their victim in that instant? Panic? Despair? Be sure to tell me upon your return. Needless to say, I would have you brave such an encounter. Take this sack of decidedly noisome bait, and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be that only one curious Yarzan appears, but what if 2 or 3 follow the scent? Let us see how you fare then. Go now, my young lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. Okay. So we need to go to... Yeah, we'll just teleport to Bent Branch Meadow. I've got about 27 minutes or so before I take a quick break. And I'll be writing down the length of this stream so that I can make it a 5-hour stream when I restart it again. Actually, I might just end the stream for a little bit after I finish my level 5 quest here. And then once everything has been resolved for the cleanings and stuff like that, I'll resume the stream. I think that'll make a lot more sense. Gilbert Spire. Spear of the Fearless. There's the Yarzon nest. Foul-smelling bait. Though Yarzons are said to be attracted to the stench of most any kind of rotting flesh, they become especially excited when that flesh is of a fellow vilekin. That's crazy. Not quite sure this counts as stressing us, but we're also level 14, and this is a level 5 thing, so. Now we just gotta kill this thing. Easy as cake. Now we go back to the Lancers Guild. Whoa, no, we don't want to do that. I almost made a big mistake indeed. A very big mistake. All right. We shall go to Lancers Guild. That's it. Okay. Let's chat with our boss. Welcome back, Razor, and well done. I trust you now understand that in times of direst need, no amount of strength or skill with a spear will avail the Lancer who lacks composure. You are now ready to learn the second aspect of a Lancer's courage, resolve. When faced with a terrible foe, a Lancer may succumb to fear and self-doubt. Should this happen, he will become defenseless, and in seeking to cover his weakness, surrender his greatest strength, namely his capacity to attack. A Lancer who fears to attack is not but a man holding a pole. His spear may as well be a broomstick for all the good it'll do him. It is not and will never be a shield. That you may learn the truth of my words firsthand, I bid you go to the Central Shroud, to an area joining the abandoned dungeon known as Spirit Hold. Since the calamity, the neck of the Twelves Wood has become a veritable menagerie of fearsome fauna. There you will find 3 collapsed pillars. Each have become haunted for fell creatures. You are to put them down. What manner of fiends can you expect to encounter? Ha! To reveal that would be to defeat the purpose of the lesson, my young Lancer. I will only say this. If you face these foes with Lancer's resolve, you will surely emerge the victor. Once you have completed the trial, pray report to Jillian in the entrance hall. She has grasped the two aspects of courage, albeit with some trouble, though I doubt you will encounter similar difficulties. Her struggle has furnished her with certain insights which I think you would benefit from hearing. A Lancer learns best when he is doing, aye, but the wisdom of his seniors is not entirely without worth. Go now, Razor, and do as I bid you. Alright, we shall do that. So we want to go to the Spirit of the Fearless. Which is at Bent Branch. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go to our quest. Hopefully get that done. Although now it's kind of iffy. I may end up having to leave the stream. You know what? Because it's iffy, I'm just going to stop the stream for a minute now, and I'm going to try and figure out why I'm dropping so many frames as well while I'm at it. So, I'll be back in about 30 or 40 minutes, and we'll continue the stream from there. So, until then, I hope you have fun. I had a blast today, and when I get back, we will finish our run to 20. So,